That's a weird looking jellyfish. Welcome back to an episode of Praying That the Viz is Good. We're back at Clearwater. We got the boat, we got my stuff, we got Evan's stuff. It's just gonna be me and Evan this trip. We're gonna see if we can't go get that black grouper. If the winds are good, if the Viz is good, if he's still there. We're gonna look for that CUBERA too, you know. This is one of those days where if things come together, it'll be awesome. If they don't, it'll still be a good day. So stay tuned. We'll see you out there. We got a new addition to the crew. The Ev Marrow. Look at this thing. He made it the other day. Neptonic spear gun blank. Everything else is all Evan. Boom. Boom. What are we using this for? What is that primary purpose? CUBERA. CUBERA gun? Yeah. What's the length on it? 50. So 50 for CUBERA. All right, let's go get that CUBERA then. Here's some stuff. Got a little bit right here, only in like 29 feet, 30 feet. You see what's popping on the bottom. Let's go.
All right, you all know what it is. Welcome back to Underwater, everybody. Hoping you're able to watch this during the hurricane or before the hurricane in case the Wi-Fi goes out. And if you're not in Tampa, the link to the GoFundMe will be right at the top of the video and in the description if you want to donate to the Carlsons or those in the immediate Crystal Hook kind of family that have been pretty severely affected by Hurricane Helene and will definitely be severely affected by Hurricane Milton. The Carlson's house is probably going to experience double the depth of storm surge that it did in the last hurricane, and the last hurricane destroyed all of their belongings, made the house structurally unsound, etc. So consider donating if you can. This first spot is kind of mid. That's because the rain had pushed us away from the actual CUBERA spot. We were kind of just killing time. This is Evan's perspective. He's testing out that new gun, so he's looking for just targets kind of to hit, trying to stone fish. Before he pulls the trigger on a CUBERA, you know, make sure the flopper works and there's no problems with the gun, etc. Gets down to the bottom, and you can kind of tell this first spot is like not it. There's like some small mangoes, but not really anything substantial. And he stones that one right there. A little bit of a below, but it's okay. Below is Evan's term for a baby fish, but he's doing target practice, so smaller target is good. Yeah, something like that. It was legal.
These fish are small. Let's go find some big ones.
That's out of leash.
Alright, so we change spots. We get back in the water. Evan takes his first drop. This drop is exactly in the exact same spot as the first time I dropped on this spot. It's like the same exact cave. And I don't know what it is with this cave. There's always bait at the mouth, and there's always big mangoes on the inside. The first time I dropped in it, I shot a hogfish. But Evan comes in here, and oh, there I am. He comes in here, and he's looking for a mango. So he kind of crawls around until he finds a little ledge here. Looking in. You can see all the mangoes around because it's the first set of dives. They're not as spooky. Sees a big one back there. Just waiting until it lines up with the gun. Looking away can sometimes really help. It makes them less scared and they'll come out to you. Shoots that big one in the back. Gets really wrapped up in there though, like real wrapped up. So he heads up to the surface with his gun, and we begin the recovery dive process. So here's me coming down for the recovery dive, and I bring my gun, but I don't end up really needing it. It's just like literally untangling this absolute mess that's down there, because it gets wrapped around this like little, like, it's not a rope, but it's like this tough steel cable thing, and it's like thin enough that the fish wraps around it several times. You'll see it in a second here. See, it's still alive. So the first thing I do when I get down there, I put the gun down and I kill the fish so that it can stop wrapping itself around this thing. And absolutely ruining my day by wrapping itself around this thing. Trying to get everything situated so I can grab the fish and kill it. This fish is not making it easy. Evan heads down while I'm down there. I have to put my knife back. Start unraveling it, but it's like, it's kind of, you know, it's pretty tangled, as you can tell. And I start to realize that it's just like the same direction wrap, so I can just move the fish around itself like this and get it nice and unwrapped, take it out the back, and be able to come on up with it. The light went in the camera quite a few times, that's my bad. My gun grabbed it from when I dropped it. Coming on up. Good recovery dive here. Kind of a long recovery dive too, but when you're not really moving that much, you can stay down longer. Oh, I missed Evan's fish bump. My bad. Alright, coming back down, and Evan is looking for another mango, because at this point we are not actually like fully invested in the CUBERA mission, because I saw the CUBERA last time, and you can see in the video that it's a CUBERA, but we're not sure if it's like consistently a CUBERA spot or if what I saw was a fluke. Today, this day confirms that it is in fact a CUBERA spot, and that during a certain time of the year, under certain conditions, you can find them there consistently, which is cool. But we didn't really know that at this point. We were hoping, but we didn't know for sure. So, kind of looking for mangoes here. He sees one that he likes. He's starting to line up on it, and he's going to pull the trigger right here. Shoots it, cuts up to the surface, and it ends up tearing out, which sucks, but, you know. This spot, though, is super cool. I mean, you could see how tall it is. I can't stop gushing about how cool this spot is, because it's super tall, and it's shallow. It's like 50 feet. So, you're in a shallow spot, you're in a tall spot. It's really cool to explore, and there's CUBERA there. Like, just one, probably my favorite spot that I've ever dove or found. Heading back down, and just look at all that structure. Like, it's just incredible. Just like, no complaints. There's tons and tons of fish. The viz gets better once you get into the structure because it's protected from current, which is really nice. There's all these little caves and nooks, and I think that's why the CUBERA like it so much. And I bet if you dug around and searched around enough, you might even be able to find some nice, some legal at least, black grouper, but I'm not 100% about that one, because if they're there, they're like way back in the caves. And I've like dug around in these caves pretty substantially. I'm like fully inside the structure now, so I couldn't go straight. I can no longer go straight up. And I'm just looking at these schools of mangoes. I'm kind of being picky. I'm waiting for one that's like really big, or a CUBERA. And you can tell that I'm not like fully believing the CUBERA thing, even for myself, because I have the Reaper out again. And the Reaper is not like, if I'm hunting CUBERA, I want to have the Marauder out because it's a 100-centimeter gun. It's got much more power with those two thick 5/8 bands. It's got a 5/16 shaft, so it can actually penetrate those CUBERA scales with no problem at range, etc. The Reaper does not have those things. It's great for hunting mangoes because it's simple and easy to reload, but it's not like the CUBERA hunting gun that you want. So I was in the cave, I'm heading back out now. Didn't really see anything that I wanted too badly. Nice, you know, two whatever, dive, 210. Yeah. Alright, this is a dive you've all been waiting for. Heading down, and the trick with these CUBERA turns out to be that you can't, because like we've dove this spot before a bunch of times, you have to stay down and let them come to you. All the times that we were like moving around, right, they would spook out. Like the last video, I was moving around and it was just, it cleared way out away from me. It was lucky I even saw it at all. If I'm sitting still on the reef, or on this day we ended up seeing a couple more where the reef meets the sand, right? Then they'll come to you. If you just sit still, scratch, grunt, like you really gotta hunt them. You gotta game it, and you gotta sit there for a while because they have to kind of get comfortable with the idea that you're not gonna move. That was a cool Goliath. Like it's like a nice, you know, 70-80 pound Goliath. It would have been cool to catch on rod and reel. You're just laying there and you're trying not to be a huge disturbance, but you're trying also to grunt to attract them here. And as I'm doing this, I'm also scratching the sand, but you can't really see it. And I'm grunting, very soft grunts. I'm like barely even doing it. My normal grunts are like much stronger. Looking around, and on the left side of the screen you'll see it. There's the first one right there, and the second one, blast him. Takes off towards the reef. I head towards the surface. I don't know how good my shot is, so I'm kind of I'm trying to keep him from wrapping up, but also not put too much pressure on him.
CUBERA! I got a CUBERA! With the f***ing Reaper!
Start pulling him up, realize he did not get wrapped up at all, and my shot's good. It's like, you know, it's not like the ideal shot because it's kind of it's like right below the spine in the gut, but it holds really well because it's not low in the gut.
There was another one with it. There were two of them. There's another one here. Holy this is smaller than the one I saw last week too. I knew they were here, dude. I knew they were here. Gulf CUBERA! Gulf CUBERA! Wow! Where was he? 152 dive. He was out in the sand.
Yeah, so we got really excited. That's been something. Evan's been trying to get a CUBERA for a long time, and I've been trying to get one in the Gulf for a while. We finally checked off a Gulf CUBERA. And just in the coolest place to do it too. Like that's such a cool place to find a CUBERA in 50 feet of water right in our backyards like that. It's just crazy.
Check it out, wait. That is a Gulf CUBERA right there. That's awesome. Look at the maw. Look at the teeth on that guy. Crazy, dude. There's another one with him. Awesome. If we can get that black today, dude, that's a stellar day. Awesome CUBERA. I'm gonna get back to it.
So with that fish, it's just such a cool find because of the combination of things. The first is like you've got a shallow spot, which is in the Gulf, or when any CUBERA really, you're thinking deep spots. You're thinking, you know, oil rigs, big wrecks, etc. This is kind of cool. Watch this. I shoot this Mac, and then I look back down, and this barracuda bites its head off completely. So I end up throwing the Mac like a throw flasher to see what happens. And the barracuda eats the rest of it. Yummy, yummy.
Moving spots. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that guy's engine is fully on fire. I don't know if this picks up the smoke, but we can see the smoke pretty bad.
So we got Evan at the new spot. The other spot we saw a couple more CUBERA, or Evan did. I didn't see any more, but we didn't really see any. Like we stopped seeing them after a bit, so we moved spots. As we were moving spots, we noticed there was very heavy rain moving between us and the coast. It was like right on the coastline, and we were not liking that at all. So we were kind of being wary, watching the weather. You could see everything because the like overland visibility in the air was super good, so I could see miles and miles, and it was flat calm, so you could see whatever. And we ended up calling it pretty early, making it a half day because we were scared about lightning, about the storm catching us while we were out there, etc. Because I checked the weather earlier in the morning, and it was like it was gonna move offshore. It was supposed to be further south of us, but it ended up coming pretty far north. Evan saw this fish, plugs it, and that's kind of the last fish of the day. His shooting line is kind of weird on this gun, but it ends up working fine. Pulls it up to the surface. And we got to get Evan on his first CUBERA. We've got a trip planned in the fall around Thanksgiving that hopefully we can make that happen. But until then, the box remains unchecked. There's a little mango right there. Alright, see you guys in the next one.
No fish is worth our lives. Let's get out of here. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but that is shore. And there's a big system over it right now that's heading offshore. So this ended up being a half day. Still a pretty good half day, right, Evan? Thumbs up? Thumbs up on the half day. We're gonna run in and try to beat this storm from getting to the cut that the ramp is at. We'll probably get wet. Let's just hope we don't get struck by lightning. All right, we're gonna run in. See you guys at the ramp. Crazy fish for a little afternoon send. Straight up CUBERA. Look at those gnarly chompers. Look at those chompers. Those teeth. But yeah, that's my first ever CUBERA in the Gulf. Pretty awesome fish. Get a little close up. Everything going on in that fish. Oh yeah. She's kind of small. She's smaller than my other two CUBERA that I've shot, but I'm not complaining at all. All right. See ya.